Hi everyone, my name is Mary and welcome back to Quinn Inc. Today I'm going to teach you how to connect your front pieces and your back pieces since I forgot to do it in another video. So this one is going to be part 3. You're going to need some stitch markers real quick before we start, and don't forget to grab your J10 5.75 millimeter hook and your dark blue yarn. Alright, so in order to start this, before we start, you're going to want to put stitch markers onto your back pieces. So this is one of your back pieces, as you remember, where it has the long piece. So for your first stitch marker, you're going to go to the side piece, or your back piece, and you're going to go to the side right here, where the 3 single crochets are. Now because I messed up in a video, I made this the side, but it is not. It's going to be this blue portion. So let's say this is the side and you have 3 single crochets. You're going to want to do it in the middle. If you did it the way I did, just the top piece right here, and then go all the way down to the bottom here, to your very last triangle, and somewhere in between the middle right here is where you're going to want to put a stitch marker. I put this one in the wrong place, so this is the middle and this is where I'm going to put my stitch marker. Okay, there we go. And then same thing on this one as well. So this is your longer piece. So wherever you're going to connect it, make sure this piece is going to be in the middle. I put my stitch marker in the wrong place again. So I'm going to put it just before this middle piece right here. As you can see, this is the top of the triangle. Right here is where you're going to want to put it. Okay, just like that. That way you know that these 2 pieces right here are going to start, or this is where I'm going to connect it. Then as you move down, make sure too that when you do this, all your triangles are facing the right way as well. So as you can see, this blue one is facing up. You want your blue one on the second back piece to be facing up, and the purple ones to be facing down so they don't look like this, because we're not trying to make diamonds, we're trying to make triangles. So we want them all facing the correct way. Okay, so on this piece you will actually find, so you're going to count your triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 6th triangle, or wherever you made your triangle, so this could be 7, could be 8, depending on how long you made it, you're going to find your 6th one, and in the middle, this is where you're going to put your stitch marker. Once you have all your stitch markers in place, then we can begin. So let's grab our yarn and let's get started. Okay, so make sure that your yarn has a slip knot on it before we start. You may start at any end of the cardigan, so you can start down here at this end and then work your way down to this end, which is the bottom, or you can start at the bottom and work your way up to the top. It does not matter. I am actually going to start at the top up here and work my way down. So we are going to want to put our slip knot into this stitch marker right here. So go ahead and insert your hook, put your yarn onto your hook and pull up. Move your yarn tail out of the way. You're going to yarn over, and what I like to do is grab my yarn and pull tight, so that way it's nice and secure, and then I'm just going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and that always counts as your double crochet. Then you're going to grab your second piece right here where this stitch marker is. Okay, make sure that your longer piece is always going to be on your right side, like mine is over here, and your shorter piece is on your left side where you're crocheting. Okay, so now we're going to, where this stitch marker is, we are going to insert our hook, grab our working yarn, pull through, and pull through for a slip stitch. Then we're going to go back into this spacing where we just connected and put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to go back to where you made a slip stitch, skip the slip stitch, skip the next stitch, and the next stitch. So pretty much skip 2 stitches and into the third, make a slip stitch, go back to where your double crochets were made, skip 2 stitches and into the third, make 3 double crochets. Now, when you're doing this beautiful granny stripe stitch, we are also trying to line up our triangles. And what I mean by that, let's put this down for just a moment. Okay, I'm going to pull my camera out and I'm going to kind of show you. So as you can see, this triangle wants to be aligned with this purple one, and this blue one wants to be aligned with that one. Now, a lot of times you can try to line them up, and sometimes you'll get close to lining them up. Skip 2 stitches in the third, make a slip stitch. Now, as you're making this pattern, it should pretty much line up as close as possible, and that's the pattern that we're looking for. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to meet you down here at the very end, somewhere closer to right about here. Okay, somewhere in this general area. I'll meet you right down there. Okay, so just keep doing as I just showed you for these 2 stitches, and I will be back shortly. Okay, so I am coming closer to the end, as you can see, and I just put my last slip stitch right there. And as you can see, these are our 2 stitch markers, okay? So now I just have to skip 2 stitches and into the third put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Alrighty, so now when we go back, we have 1, 2, and then into the third one. So I got it just perfectly. So you will be skipping this one. This is where I put the slip stitch into. You'll skip this one, and then go into this one for a slip stitch, right where the stitch marker was. So you'll move your stitch marker, put your hook in there, grab your working yarn and pull through and pull through. Now this stitch marker looks like it's 1 stitch. So what we're going to do is we are going to skip that 1 stitch and go right into this stitch. Now if you want to, you can also go into this stitch as well because it's still technically in the middle. But for this one, I am going to skip that 1 stitch and just put 3 double crochets right into that stitch marker. Oh, what? Give me a second, let me remove this. Okay. So skip 1 stitch, 3 double crochets right into that stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then you will go back into this where the stitch marker is right here for a slip stitch. Can be a little tight, and then you will go back into this stitch for a double crochet. Just like that. Now, since I feel this is a little tight, what I'm going to do is, instead of slip stitching back into here to finish it off, I am going to go into the next stitch and slip stitch right into there. That will finish this row off. And then you will just grab your scissors and you will just cut your yarn. yarn over, pull through, and then you will tighten. I will pull my camera out in just 1 second. And this is what your stitch will look like when you are done and your back is pretty much connected. Okay? And so now at this point you will do this for the shorter section of your back part, again just like I showed you. Now the shorter section will be a lot easier because all you have to do is put your stitch marker into the corner right here, or right where this stitch marker is. So there's 3 here, 1, I think this is a stitch, 2 and 3, so I should have put it right here. Okay, so I can move my stitch marker, but it's somewhere in this corner. And again, you will go down here, and as you can see, my stitch marker is at the top of this triangle. And so when I do my next shorter back section, this is how I will connect it. And then all my triangles will go the same exact way. And then I will connect the longer section, like this one, to the shorter section, like this one. I will be connecting the rest of my 2 back sections, and then I will be back to show you what they look like. Okay, so I'll be back shortly. Alright, so to give you a little bit of an update, I did finish the 3rd. So this one up here is the first back portion, this one is the 2nd, and this one is the 3rd. And I did finish it, so I'm going to give you a quick little overview. So there it is right there. And as you can see, there is the straight pieces right there where your back is going to go. So there we go. So I have one more piece to connect right here, and then I will be back to show that to you as well. And that piece is right here. Apologize for that. There we go. So this piece right here will be the next piece that I will be connecting. And then later on in another video, I will show you how to do this beautiful ripple stitch or wave stitch. And yes, we will be using the 2 different colors, the blue, the purple, the blue, and the purple. Now if you would like, you can do this all in one color, but I felt this would be very, very beautiful. I was testing it out to see how it would look. Alrighty, so I will be back shortly once this piece is connected. Okay, so I'm on the last strip and I'm nearing the very end. So all I need to do is skip 2 stitches and into the 3rd where the stitch marker is. I just need to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Alrighty, and then I just need to skip 2 stitches, and in that one I can put a slip stitch, which is fine. That's where I'm going to put it, even though it's right behind the stitch marker. Sometimes this is going to happen where you're not always going to put the slip stitch right where your stitch marker is, but that is okay. So you're going to slip stitch, and then you're going to yarn over and go back into that stitch for another double crochet to finish off the row. And then you will go back into this stitch where your stitch marker is for the last slip stitch. And then you will take your scissors and cut off. Okay, and then all you'll do is yarn over and pull that stitch right through, and then pull up again and then tighten it. Okay, so now that the back is completely done, I am going to show you what it looks like and how beautiful this stitch is. Are you ready? Here we go. So here's what I finished right here. Move my light out of the way. This is where your back of your neck is going to go. This is your front piece right here where your shoulders will go. So this is what it looks like. Move my light out of the way. Okay, That's what it looks like when the whole entire front and back pieces are done. And then this you'll pull over, and that is your front piece right there. And then this piece right here you will pull over, and that is what it will look like. And then right here in the very middle is where we will put this beautiful ripple stitch in another video. Alrighty, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to scroll down and hit that like button so I know that you enjoyed this video. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so I know that I can see you in my sub box. And until next time, bye-bye.